Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, the 4-job Fiesta for TNV Small Critter Rescue. Last episode we finally got to Karnak, where a lot of things were going wrong. The queen's missing, the fire crystal cracked, it's spewing flames out that are reaching the castle and the town. And even though they shut off the machine that amplifies the crystal's power, the crystal is still being drained, and Sid suspects it's this steamship here. So, as I mentioned in the last episode, it's kind of a hybrid of old technology and new technology. We get down here to lower decks, it's very mechanical. We've got elevators, we'll have conveyor belts, see a bunch of pipes and stuff like that. So, yeah, different weird feel, but it's kind of an interesting dungeon. A lot of dead ends or areas to repeat themselves, so... but I'm going to take sure the most efficient way to basically get through and get all the treasures. So, and we got some new enemies here, of course. These enemies, all two of them here, the Crew Dust and the Defeater, are both weak to ice, so we can have our Magic Knights use the Ice 2 spell on their swords. What we want to do is we want to take out those Crew Dust first, because if we take out take out a Crew Dust and then take out the Defeater and leave the Crew Dust by itself. Remember what that guy said in Karnak? He's like, there's a monster called Crew Dust, and if it's left alone, it'll blind you. It'll cast that flash spell. So we're going to take out the two Crew Dust first, then we can take out the Defeater. So, and I'll put the Crew Dust stats up in another fight. So, it's good they're all weak to ice there. And hey, sometimes when you finish a battle in here, new enemies will spawn, these motor traps. They are weak to lightning, like most machines are. Sadly, we're going to have to recast a spell, because right now, if we just kept fighting, our swords just have the property of the Ice 2. So we're going to have to change the sword properties up to Bolt to exploit this weakness. So it's going to take an extra turn, but without turning our characters into Bolt, it'll take like maybe 2 or 3 hits, depending on who hits the motor trap, to finish it off. So it actually just saves time to turn into the weakness. It seems to do about 4 times as much damage when you target the weakness. And TNV will just keep hitting his party members, his friends, with that healing staff. Basically casts a Cure 2 single target. So. And here we have an attack with all the Crew Dust here. And I'm just keeping this one in, even though we've seen the Crew Dust, because I'll show off their stats. And then just a way that I kind of avoided getting hit by that flash spell. Because eventually, just by whittling their numbers down, we're going to get to a point where there's only going to be 1. So I'm going to use a little bit of a kind of an exploit, I guess. Kind of cheating, or I don't know if it's cheating, but it's like kind of a strategy. So you can see that those bars to the right of the character's hit points, when they're yellow, that means the character is ready to act. So I will basically be holding off until I can have a character act, and I'm also going to wait until the Crew Dusts act. So that the Crew Dust goes, and then I know that the other one ain't gonna go. It's Trick's turn, and my characters are ready to take their turn. So before the Crew Dust gets his turn and casts that flash spell and blind some characters, we already have our character waiting to finish it off before it gets its turn. So sometimes you just have to wait out a little bit. So, only one different enemy in this area, so I'll run into most of the enemies. Yeah, quite a few elixirs in this area, so. But now we're going to run into our first elevator, like that man up top said. Just hit the switch, hit the red switch, and it'll take you to a new section of the ship. So, we'll also be getting to other sections of the ship by going through like air vents. So, that treasure chest over there is a little tricky to see. So, it's they're using that like in Final Fantasy IV, the summon monster village, where the floor is kind of translucent, so you can see the floor underneath it. So it can give you a little bit of a headache here. One reason why I don't like 3D games. Just like them flat. There's a conveyor belt there. As you saw, it pushes you back. So we're going to have to get that treasure chest by falling from above onto it. So here we have another, the other last enemy, the poltergeist. We saw a similar looking enemy in the ship graveyard. And like those enemies in the ship graveyard, this poltergeist is also weak to white magic. So, and if you run into poltergeist and you have that heal staff equipped, you can just target one of them and take it out. So you can one-shot it with that heal staff. So there's a lot of wandering around, backtracking, but eventually we'll fall in from above and grab that treasure chest. This is where like the thing kind of gets confusing because we have all these paths to go. The one on the right leads all the way to basically just a dead end. I'll point out where it goes to later. And two of those chutes basically just put you back a few rooms. And one chute takes you to the treasure chest, and the other one chute takes you to the way forward. So I'll point them out, but this is where you can, I guess, like I said, in that room, do a lot of backtracking if you don't know where you're going. We get a green beret here. None of our characters can use it. It's good for melee classes. It's kind of like light armor headgear, and which is good because one of the classes that we're about to get is the ninja. If we were able to use ninjas, that would be a good helmet for them, but none of our characters can use it. So first we're going to the third hatch. The fourth and the first hatch are basically dead ends. Or they just they drop you in other places and you just there's no treasure chests. You just have to kind of walk back and repeat. So we're just going to take the third one there. And that takes us to the thief glove. That increases your chance to steal items if you're a thief. And there's some decent treasure you can get with a thief. There's some, toward the end of the game, there's some weapons that can only be got by stealing from an enemy. Yeah, the enemy don't even drop it. Where like most, like Final Fantasy 4, an enemy like weapons that they dropped. Usually they just stole like potions and stuff or consumable items. But we take the second hatch there, and that takes us here. We're gonna take the steps over to the right. Get some treasure. We saw this room earlier when we got that elixir at the beginning of the area, but there's that little space that we couldn't pass up to get that other treasure chest. If we were to take that one passage on the right, it would have taken us to there, across that conveyor belt. So if you miss the Thieves' Glove and you need to get it, you can just take that conveyor belt up, and it'll take you back to that room with the chutes. And you can get the Thieves' Glove going in the third chute. So we have a save point. We have another big room to go through before we hit the boss. But it's good to have that save point there just in case. The boss can be kind of tricky. He pulled some new tricks on me in this playthrough here, but we managed to take him out. So you have to hit a bunch of these switches to move bridges in and out of the way. You gotta move turn that bridge because we have to take the platform over there to the left, straight up. And I'll show you how to get back when we're after you defeat the boss. Because right after the boss, there's a really long cutscene with the crystal, and so I don't want the episode to go too long. So we'll take the boss out, and then we'll come back and use the save point we just kind of missed. So now here we're at the power room, and there's a lady there. It's the queen. I guess Lenna knows who she is. I mean, royalty, maybe they've run into each other before. But she's possessed by like a purple cloud, just like how King Typhoon was. You people are standing in the way of my revival. I must get rid of you. She summons this liquid flame monster. It's going to be weak to ice. Well, two of the three forms are. So this first form here, as a man, it will counter attacks with a flame spell that hits all your party. So you might have to, in just having T and V heal, might have to pull some other characters to pull some healing. So it's good that all our characters learn the white magic up to level 3, because that allows them to cast the Cure 2 spell. We're just gonna add, it would be better if we had like a thing for magic defense for this fight, but we don't, so we just have to use the physical, because sometimes this guy will hit you physically. So, but most of his attacks are magical. And now we get, well, this is the hand form. This is the worst form. It can also form into a tornado there. I have the stats for that. It will never turn into a tornado in this battle here, which makes it kind of tricky. This hand has just amazing evasion. And it basically absorbs pretty much everything. So you either gotta wait it out for it to finally change forms, but we're not able to hit it. It keeps evading all our attacks. But I find a way around that. I end up finding out that, you know, hey, this guy is susceptible to the charm spell. So it's going to take a while to finally defeat it, but we're basically going to charm it and let it defeat itself. The hope was that after it suffered enough damage, it would start, change forms on its own. Usually that's how it seems to be, that after you deal a certain amount of damage, it'll change forms. So I tried to do different things. I tried to cast some cure spells on it, just hoping that, you know, change the hit points up. That might work. But I could not force a transformation. So rather than force it to transform, I just basically figured, well, I'll just, if it decides to transform, it'll decide to transform. In the meantime, though, I will just charm it. And then it hits itself, and boom, it does out of the charm, so just re-charm it again. It has such good evasion that even when it's charmed, our characters weren't able to hit it. Now, the charm doesn't work all the time, but as you can see, it works probably like 90% of the time. And with all our characters being able to cast charm, it's pretty much kept it on lock. So we have it pretty much locked down here. It's not really going to hurt us anymore. And it's just going to hurt itself. So yeah, you see, I definitely had to speed up this battle because it took quite a while. But usually bosses, that's why I know I mentioned earlier there's a low-level challenge that I'll do next year, where you can beat the game at really low levels, and that's usually because there's usually like some trick that each of the bosses you can exploit, so it doesn't matter that your levels. That's why this game is very stingy with experience. You know, Final Fantasy IV, I think I was close to level 60 when I beat the game, and that was just like fighting all the enemies, never really grinding. Same thing about the other Final Fantasies, I didn't really grind, I just fought battles as I went through. Except Final Fantasy 1, before the Mage cave, I grinded. But, you know, most things I didn't have to grind. And it got relatively high levels, but this game, very stingy with experience. It's more about getting job abilities to make enemies easier, and using those abilities to, you know, exploit weaknesses of the boss or take care of them in some interesting way. Queen Karnak, I was being controlled by something, an evil spirit, a being who seeks darkness. Queen, isn't this the machine's fault that the crystals are shattering? So we let Sid know that. The evil spirit is using them, trying to bring about his resurrection. Please protect the crystal fire. You should be able to get through the crystal room from the pipe ahead. And that'll take us right into the castle again. But like I said, what will end up happening is we'll have a really long cutscene there, and then it'll throw us right into the escape, the castle. It's a 10-minute sequence. So that'll be basically next episode. So I don't even want to start that, so I'm just going to head back here to the save point we were in. And you just have to push a few switches to maneuver these things around. Then get back to the save room, and just step on this guy, hit the switch, pull this over to the end, and we're back in our save room. So we'll make a save here, we'll come back, and we'll see if we can save the fire crystal on the beginning of the next episode. So take care, have a good one, thanks for following along, have a good day, bye.